Divine greetings and gratitude, tribe. Welcome back to our space. Of course, I'm always honored, excited, and elated to be in your presence. And if you're new here, my name is Nuna. Welcome. I'm here to help you transcend beyond your pain and suffering, expand your consciousness, as well as manifest by merging the arts of poetry and magic. So I want to take us back in time real quick. And the reason why I want to do that is because there's a lot of things that we're being called to put into perspective. Okay. If you're wondering what that noise was, I have a couple of decks of liniment cards here that I have in my hands. That way I can shuffle and pull and give you whatever downloaded messages that are needed. Okay. So essentially, I want to take you back to a time where things were a lot more separated. Things were a lot more chaotic. Things were a lot more intense, and things were actively being deconstructed. If you've been here since the Magic of Eden days, and you know that we predicted that there was going to be a great reset, you know that we predicted that there was going to be a lot of separations and people coming together, and businesses crumbling and big corporations crumbling down and whatnot, being deconstructed, being uprooted and things like that. And you also know that we've been predicting that community is what's going to help us moving forward, right? I want to take you back into a time where, again, things were a lot more separated because of the jab and things of that nature. And there were a lot of unlawful mandates happening, a lot of people being fired, and a lot of people stepping down. Like, there was a lot of things that were happening. And in that time, we were separated from our families, at least, people who were following certain unlawful things, they were separated from their families. Families were splitting and falling apart even more because of ideologies and people not want to do certain things, and people being labeled as anti this and anti that, and people just being identified with their beliefs and whatnot. And there was a major splitting. It was bad, and I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Why am I bringing this up right now? Because we are right now in a space where we are all seeing ourselves, right? And I don't want to miss or skip over or jump over the fact that during that time, there were also people coming together. There were people who were utilizing their gifts and their talents. There were some people who were self-made that were coming up. There were people who were spending more time getting their health together. All those things, like, we don't want to skip over that. But the reason why I'm bringing this up right now is because the world right now is in a state where it is seeing itself. And a lot of the people at that time that were demonized, that were excluded, that were bashed for what they believed in, that whatever they were going through, a lot of those people now are going to start coming back up. And a lot of those people are going to be more of the leaders in this world, because there are a lot of things that are changing and happening. The reason why I'm also bringing this up is because if you can imagine this, right? Because this is something that's been coming through a lot. If you can imagine being in a space, it's just dark, right? It's just black. It's pitch black, and there's no up, down, left, or right. Imagine you're in a void, okay? Welcome to Pisces season, right? And now imagine that there are lights that are coming from above what you believe to be above, right? Now imagine you see mirrors everywhere, just mirrors everywhere, floating all up, not floating, but you know what I mean? Like, just imagine mirrors all over the place. And now, not only are you there, but now there's about 49 other people, right? In this dark space that now has light everywhere. So now you can see the people that are there, and you can see the mirrors, and you can see reflections. Now imagine each of these mirrors reflecting images off of you, off of them, off of her, off of him, off of they, whoever else, right? There's all of these different images popping up. Everything is just constantly reflecting off of each other. Now, imagine the energy contained within that space, or contained, and you can feel everything amplified. That's exactly what's happening with the world. We're all reflecting each other. It's like we're all in this space where there's a bunch of mirrors, and these mirrors are reflecting the chaos that has been going on, the chaos within ourselves, the chaos in the world, and all of us feel all of these things. That's the state of the world right now. We're all trying to figure it out. We're all trying to figure out, how do we get out of this space? How do we get out of poverty? How do we get out of survival mode? How do we make it right now? It just seems like there's so many businesses that have been, that have been crumbling and whatnot. A lot of mom and pop shops have had to close down. And there's a lot of things that I feel that are happening in people's lives where they're not able to understand it. There's so many things happening on a macroscopic level, and there's so many things happening on a microscopic level. And everything that we feel outside of us, we feel it within us, and it's amplified. And then you take that energy and you go out to the grocery store, and then you see people, and you're bumping into people, and then you're picking up energy, and then you feel upset, and then you feel like, what is this? It just feels like we're all just reflecting off of each other, and we're also simultaneously trying to figure it out. And that's exactly what Spirit is wanting to remind you of. We are in a space where we're trying to figure out, how do we come back together, but without feeling like, I can't trust you, I can't trust you, I can't trust you. It's like, it's this trust issue that we're having, which obviously would make sense because of the things that have been going on, right? We have seen some of the worst sides of each other. Right? We've been seeing some of the worst sides of each other, but we also have been seeing some of the best sides of each other as well. Now, how do we come together? How do we allow ourselves to just merge and mingle in a way that is conducive to our growth, but not even just our own individual growth, but for the progression of humanity? And I feel like right now, the answer to that question is just simply slowing all the way down and letting yourself process. There was a lot that was going on at that time, and there's a lot going on now. The world is trying to solve a very intense mathematical equation, but instead of us trying to force the answer, what we're being called to do is pull back a little bit, to rest a little bit, to allow ourselves to divine information, to allow ourselves to go deeper into studies. If that's what you feel called to do, this could be just a simple message for someone that may need to hear that. You may be called to go into your own studies, to go into meditation, to go into retreat for a little while, so that you can rest, so that your body can rest, so that you can pull back out of the chaos that's happening, so that you can go through this process of introspection, so that you can receive the information you need to help you moving forward. And that's exactly what I feel like we're all doing. And I feel like Spirit is reminding you that you're not doing anything wrong. You're just trying to recover from a world that was crashing in on itself. You're not going to have all the answers figured out right now. You are not going to have all of the answers figured out right now. And of course, Uranus has been going and showing up and showing out like, okay, this is what's been going on. You haven't been dealing with this, so this is what you have to deal with now. And it's one of those things where you have to remember that patience is key. Yes, strategy is key. Coming together is key. I know that I sound like a broken record saying this. I know that I sound like I just keep repeating myself, but that's just what the messages are. It's time for us to come together. Your new ways of making money, your new ways of getting out there, your new ways of not even understanding how these things work, but your way of understanding more of yourself as well is through partnership. After going through your process of introspection, and even there may be moments where you may be around people, you may be around certain friend groups, you may be around certain, people and whatnot that reflect something about yourself, and you take that information and you go sit in silence or with music or whatever you do, and you allow the messages to come through that you need to help yourself, to help you grow and evolve, to help you expand your own consciousness, because different people bring about different ideas, different people bring about different parts of you. Right? Because we're all multidimensional. So they're all bringing out these different parts of us. What we are also noticing is that the same way we were in this space where all of these images were reflecting off of these mirrors, now we're in a space where we're starting to see different sides of ourselves that we may not even knew that we had the capacity to be or had the capacity to show or exude. And now I feel like because we're in this state of constantly trying to figure it out, it's becoming very exhausting. We're still healing and recovering from a world that is still crashing in on itself. Like it's not stopping yet. It's not done. There are still a lot more things that are going to happen. For example, I don't know if anyone is keeping up with what's going on with certain files being dropped and all that stuff, but there are a lot of things that are happening. And remember, if you've been with me since Magic of Eden, you know that we've been talking about how there are a lot of things that were going to be exposed about celebrities, about people who were on, in the YouTube world, influencers and whatnot. Like all that stuff is crashing still. People still trying to be relevant because they're trying to say, oh, wow, okay, I'm getting another message, but I have to come back to that one. I'm going to come back to it. Spirit, please remind me because I don't want to forget. So wait, what was I saying? So essentially, yes, all of these things are changing. And this is where we have to say, okay, we're all in a space where we're seeing ourselves. We're all in a space where we don't know what the structure is. We're all in a space where we're trying to figure our own lives out while trying to navigate the world. It is very exhausting. It is. And I feel like when we were separated, right? Remember when we were separated, we craved each other more than what we knew. A smile from a stranger, the pink on a petal, the dewdrops on grass, freshly shaven, right? Like there's so many things that I feel that a lot of people may have not taken advantage of, but were inconsiderate about. And those are the very things that we crave the most. Those are the very things that we needed the most to remind us that we're having an experience here, that remind us of freedom. And I feel that the only way that we are going to get to freedom is if we do come together. There are a lot of things that you are seeing about yourself right now. Try not to go and view this from a space of judgment, but rather understanding. Because when you do that, you allow yourself room to grow without the rigor, without the harshness, without the intensity of feeling like you have to constantly pile things on. You're already feeling a lot as it is. And it doesn't mean don't take accountability. It just simply means that there are so many things again that are being demolished and deconstructed. And now back to the point that I was making earlier when I was saying something about celebrities and influencers. I want you to be very mindful. If you notice, I don't know if you notice this or not, but I'm not here to okay, I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. I want you to be very mindful, and I want you to be very intentional and very discerning as to who you allow into your space. Everybody's trying to make it, right? Like not everybody, but there are people who are trying to make it, right? And they may or may not have your best interest at heart. People, celebrities, whoever else, right? Celebrities, influencers, they're going to try to keep themselves relevant by interacting more with the general public, while simultaneously keeping the distance to maintain that level of importance, to maintain this level of superiority or whatever. This is not going to be true for every celebrity. It's not going to be true for every single person. It's not, right? Like there are some people who are just genuinely amazing souls, right? And there are other people who are strategists, and they will make it to where they give enough access of themselves to certain type of people to ensure that they remain relevant. I want you to remember, do not forget where you came from. Do not forget your humble beginnings. Don't forget these things, right? This is the path of remembrance here. We remember. So on your path of remembrance, I want you to remember the importance of owning who you are, outside of any type of validation. I want you to remember that you are not the chaos. There may be chaos within you and you may experience the chaos, but you yourself are not chaos. Okay? You are a soul here expressing itself in whatever form you decide to take shape of, or whatever form you decide is best for you. What you are is light. And I want you to remember to always follow the light. When you follow the light, what you're really doing is you're following your higher mind. I want you to remember that. There are a lot of things right now that are being shown to you, a lot of things right now that are coming up, insecurities, faults, the past, shame, regret, whatever it is. There are so many things right now that are coming up right now, and it's to get you to sit with it, right? To get you to sit with yourself and say, this is what I'm not bringing into this new life. I'm going to be very intentional about the people that I bring into my life or that I allow into my field. I'm only going to allow partnerships that are truly divine, that help me see the worst and best parts of me so that I can make the changes that I need to make. Right? And if you feel that you don't want to see the worst parts of you, Spirit is saying this is not something that you can avoid. If you are on this path, if you are on this path of betterment or doing better for yourself, then you are going to have to sit with the uncomfortable, because this path of, of enlightenment or whatever you want to call it, right? I don't even really want to call it a path. I want to say that it's just something that happens. As a matter of fact, I wrote some things down about that because that came through the other day, actually. Because I was in the process of writing some things for poetry or whatever, and making some writing points, and I started writing and whatnot. That's what you see here. And I also have one about growth, but I'm not going to get into that now. What am I saying? Okay. So enlightenment is the inner light exuding itself without ego's approval. Enlightenment is the soul's organic nature exuding without proving light exists. I don't know. I was just kind of channeling when I was writing. Enlightenment is inner clarity. Ooh, I like that. Without judgment. So enlightenment is inner clarity without judgment. Enlightenment is inner wisdom, inner light embodied. Those were things that actually came through about enlightenment. I think that was it, actually. Oh, no. There's something else that I wrote down, actually. Do the most uncomfortable thing, and that's what will lead to the breakthrough. Do the most uncomfortable thing, and that's what will lead to the breakthrough. Why did I write that down? I don't even know why I wrote that. Do the most uncomfortable thing, and that's what will lead to the breakthrough. Whoa, okay. So let's just say yes, do the most uncomfortable thing, and that's what will lead to the breakthrough. You may not want to work with people. You may not want to get yourself out there. You may not want to be a part of a community because you feel afraid that if you do so, that you have to let your guard down, whatever it may be. But what Spirit is saying is that in the midst of all this, in the midst of all the chaos, in the midst of everything that we're seeing, in the midst of all the mirrors, in the midst of everything, the most uncomfortable thing that you can do probably is what's going to lead to the breakthrough. You may not want to be around people. You may not want to network. You may not want to open yourself up. You may not want to be vulnerable. You may not want to trust anyone. If you work on doing that and sitting with whatever wound that is being revealed through the chaos, then that is actually how you're going to make it in this new world, because this new world is more inclusive. This new world that we're in, right? The shift that happened is not even requiring you, but it's asking you to allow yourself to be unified, to merge, to mingle, to marry these ideas and these energies that are going to help you, right? And remain detached enough so that you don't get lost in the noise. You have to allow yourself to do more of the uncomfortable. Sometimes when you do the uncomfortable work, it leads to the breakthrough. You may not want to sit with this stuff. You may not want to see yourself. You may not want to see other people because it makes you feel uncomfortable, because it makes you feel ashamed, because it makes you feel whatever it may be. But the more that you sit with it, you realize that it's not anyone or anything making you feel anything. These are feelings that come up because they are simply a part of the experience. It is proof that you are living. It is proof that you feel. It is proof that you're empathic. It is proof that you're wanting to grow, right? If you are in this space and you are wanting to grow. So I feel like this message was kind of everywhere, but I'm hoping that y'all are picking up what I'm putting down. This video is not structured at all whatsoever. These are just thoughts that are coming out, and we're just kind of allowing our thoughts to just kind of roam because, whatever happens will happen, okay? Yes. So I feel like that's really what the solution would be. I feel like the solution to whatever issues that you may be having in your life right now could be simply for you to allow, for you to not rush, for you to slow down, and for you to allow yourself to sit with whatever is uncomfortable, because that's what's going to lead to the breakthrough. Right now, we do need each other. We always have needed each other. It has always been about community, and we're going back to what we used to do: networking, getting things done offline, having more of these in-person spaces. These are all different things that I feel like we're going to be headed towards. So whatever work you're doing now, I want you to account for doing work in person, not just online, but in person. Also, there's something very specific about, I just heard the word archives. You can definitely create an archives for yourself. You can start to save things offline. I'm hearing for you to start saving things offline. You want to be careful with any type of malfunctions that may happen, or any type of, malfunctioning with the camera or with the computer or with the tablet or whatever. Get another hard drive is what I'm hearing. You may want to do that, and the reason is because you want to have access to the things that you just want to have access. You want to have things saved. You don't want to, put all of your eggs in one basket. Make sure that you have several different ways. Also, what I'm hearing is, I'm hearing for someone to, I just heard for someone to start a podcast. I heard start a podcast. Start creating an archive, like start creating a living archive for yourself, and start creating like voice notes. Is coming through like voice notes, or I'm just hearing silence right now. Actually, I'm not hearing anything else. Someone is here and they may not be used to sitting in silence. That very uncomfortable thing. Yep, someone does not like sitting in silence. And what spirit is saying is that when you do that, when you sit in silence, it actually helps you. You can ease, I'm hearing to like ease your way into that. Like you may just need constant activity. Spirit is saying still, I'm hearing the word stillness. Oh, I just heard stillness is the virtue. Someone here does not know how to sit still. I don't know if you have a really hard time where you feel like you need to move around to feel productive, or you need to move around to feel safe. What I'm hearing is that the very fact that you are constantly on the move is linked to survival for you, and it's a trauma response is what they're saying. I don't know why they're saying that. I do not think that this is going to resonate for a lot of people. I think that this may resonate with only a few. They're saying that there's something about a trauma response, or you trauma responding by moving and being in survival. I just heard being on the hunt. It's like I just feel like someone is sitting with something really, really uncomfortable. I want you to know that you're not alone in this. And if you really feel, if this is anyone from the Saiyonan circle, send me an email. If this is anyone that is listening to this that is a part of my own personal tribe, then you know where to find me, right? You know where to find me. I just heard on edge. Someone feels like they're on edge. Like someone feels on edge. Peppermint is what I'm hearing. Peppermint. Like someone's on edge. Peppermint. I just heard stage fright. Like someone may have stage fright. I'm hearing stage fright. So someone's like unable to perform something because they're afraid of what they will look like, or they're afraid of what people, they're afraid of like eyes. Like I'm seeing like a lot of eyes. And remember in Snow White, when in that movie in Snow White, where she was in like this forest and everything was just so dark, and everything she saw was just, it was scaring the shit out of her. Oh, excuse my French. It was scaring her. Like, but when she stopped and when she calmed down, she noticed, oh, okay, it's just animals. Like these are just animals. Like they're so peaceful. What's happening is, okay, the darkness is not evil. The darkness is actually just simply revealing your fears. That's what this is. It's like Nine of Swords. It's the thing that you may feel the most afraid of that keeps popping up for you. And it's like the Devil card, Nine of Swords energy. You may have been getting a lot of those in your readings recently. It's reflecting your shadow. It's reflecting the things that you may be afraid of. Yeah, it's time for you to sit with that. This is particularly speaking to Divine Feminine. And that's all that we are going to pull right now for these liniment cards. So for the liniment cards, you have the Clover here. You also have the Key. You also have here the Compass is here, and you also have the Woman, and then you have the Clover again. Okay, so why do you have this? I feel like the key to this is really just kind of what we're talking about. It's not necessarily like a matter of luck, but I do feel like there's something that someone is unlocking, specifically Divine Feminine, when you do face this thing, right? What you'll end up doing is you're unlocking more guidance. You'll start to unlock more of a part of yourself that can be easily received, easily receptive, or you unlock magnetism. I also feel like, I just heard that you're unlocking your rarity. You're unlocking rarity. That's something that you're also going to receive or unlock the more that you face this thing. So anyway, this is it. That's what is coming through. I'm not going to allow this to go any further. I really do hope that this made sense. I'm going to go back, listen to this, edit it, and all that good stuff. And I'm going to prepare for the next video that we have to do, because I have to do a reading and whatnot and all of those good things. So anyway, yes, I hope that you got what you needed. If you need anything from me, feel free to visit me online over at the SayonanPath.org. I'm also on Substack, on Instagram, on TikTok, again, of course, and here at Nuna Sees. Make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I'm going to be giving a lot more messages. I have some projects that we're working on. Also, really tune into Substack, because that's exactly where you're going to find my writing pieces. Also, writing pieces will now start to live on my website as well. And if you are not a part of the Saiyonan Circle, make sure that you do so, because that's where you're going to get more readings and whatnot. I'll also talk about things over there that I won't talk about over the internet, over social media and things like that. And yes, am I missing anything? I'm a part of the Fediverse now. I'm gonna start being a little bit more active on there. And yes, I feel like that's it. If there's nothing else, thank you for listening and tuning in. I will catch you in my next video.